Hey there! So today's video topic is inspired by several recent visits we have had with people that are considering moving to Meridian, Idaho. As one of the fastest growing cities in the state of Idaho, and with Meridian being a city that has just done one heck of a job making it onto all of the various best places to live, work, play, raise a family, basically do all the things list. Yeah, Meridian has a lot to offer and it appeals to so many. What's been super interesting for us to observe and experience is just how many people arrive thinking that there is just one specific section of Meridian that they're interested in checking out. What's even more interesting is that they're never really quite sure when or where or how they got that notion into their heads. So, any guesses on what area of Meridian people typically arrive thinking is going to be their area? And sometimes even thinking
that this is the only place to be.
The North End. And while, don't get me wrong, the North End of Meridian is fantastic. But well, don't be too quick to turn up your nose regarding the South End either. Let's break it all down right now. Okay, so this past weekend, for the third time in 2 months, we had some great new clients who are planning to move here next spring from California. They flew in and just to check out the area because they've never actually been in Meridian in person. When they arrived, they told us, as they did on our Zoom call that we had last week, that they really thought they only wanted to look at homes in the North End.
Why is that a problem?
Now, don't get us wrong, we certainly listen to our clients and are definitely not in the business of wasting anybody's time. Quite the opposite, actually. We absolutely respect what our clients want to see. That said, it is also our job and obligation to help them explore and really see and understand the area before doing all of the things that go into moving. We certainly don't want that for them or for you. We don't want you to go through everything that moving entails only to move in and realize, yeah, not the place you want to be. So to help ensure our clients don't find themselves thinking several months down the road that, what the heck, Marcy, why didn't you guys show us this area? We strongly encourage them, just like we did this past week, to, well, appease us and just let us quickly show them a couple of homes and neighborhoods in the South End, just so they could see the area. And, well, like I said, these clients of ours are fantastic. Yay for our new YouTube clients. You quickly are all becoming some of our favorites, but I digress. Anyhow, because they're so great, they agreed. And, well, for the third time in 2 months, they, just like the other two great families we met before them, who arrived with similar takes on the south and north ends of Meridian, well, they ended the weekend with a completely different take and notion, and we just revised and revamped their search criteria altogether. I actually got a text from the mother this morning that reads, and I quote, "Thank you again so much for helping us this weekend. We're now thinking South End or bust. Totally wasn't expecting that, but we're excited." And then, she goes on to talk about her sweet dog, but never mind, I won't read that part. So what's the deal? Am I saying that the North End of Meridian isn't a good place to live? Not even close. Let's break down the key things and differences about both areas that people typically love about both ends of this widely popular Boise suburb. And then at the end, we'll reveal the biggest question you need to ask yourself to determine which would be best for you and whoever it is that's coming alongside of you. Let's quickly pull up a map so you can see exactly how Meridian is positioned in relation to Boise, as well as all the other cities that make up the Treasure Valley. Okay, so here you can see Meridian's city limits, with everything inside the red being the city of Meridian. Meridian is about 12 miles from downtown Boise, with Eagle and Star to the north and Nampa and Caldwell to the west, and then there's Kuna to the south. When we talk about the north end of Meridian, just straight out, it's a much larger area than the south end. When we're talking about the north end of Meridian, we're talking about this area. So a little north of I-84 and then all the way up to Highway 26. And then here you can see Highway 55, which is also known and really more commonly referred to as Eagle Road. Growth along this road has just absolutely exploded. This is where you'll find the Village, which is an outdoor shopping mall with many familiar chains and lots of great casual restaurants and cafes. And they've got a movie theater, play area, and an ice skating rink in the winter. There's just really never a shortage of things to do around the Village. And then there's Kleiner Park, which is right across the street from the Village. It's a 58-acre park with an amphitheater, fishing, bocce ball court, basketball, just really all of the things. And then you can go north or south along Eagle Road, so again, Highway 55, same thing, to hit other major box stores such as Lowe's, Kohl's, Hobby Lobby, and a ton of other chain restaurants such as Ling & Louie's, Applebee's, and hey, very soon In-N-Out, which is currently under construction, but it's going to be opening soon. This will be the first In-N-Out location in Idaho, and safe to say, there are a lot of people pretty darn excited about it. Okay, so with Eagle Road, which is a focal point of North Meridian, it is just straight out one busy road. And it's actually said to be the busiest road in the entire state of Idaho. And well, more often than not, it definitely feels that way. If you're curious to check out and tour some of the actual neighborhoods and communities right in this area in North Meridian, I'll put a link above as well as in the description of this video for you to check out. Okay, so in general, due to how much commercial and residential growth has occurred, the north end is just flat out busier and more congested than what you'll find in the south end. Down in the south end of Meridian, so that is going to be everything that falls within Meridian city limits, that is south of I-84. While we've definitely seen a significant amount of growth, the vast majority of it has been residential growth opposed to commercial. So it just isn't quite as busy and commercially focused and congested. That said, a very common complaint about living in the south end of Meridian is that there aren't nearly as many restaurants and stores just minutes away like what you find in the north end. That said, if you are one who likes fine dining, living in South Meridian would actually mean you could get to downtown Boise significantly faster than if you were living in the north end. And really, if you're a diehard foodie and fine dining is your jam, then Boise will be where you will be headed. While Meridian has a large number of restaurants to choose from, our fine dining options on both ends of town are limited. Heck, they aren't even limited.
There are none.
There just isn't any fine dining currently in Meridian. That's not to say there aren't any good restaurants, but well, they are just certainly not in the fine dining category. In South Meridian, currently the most all-around popular restaurants are probably Gramercy Park, The Griddle, Rudy's, and Red Pavilion. We do have some great locally owned shops, such as Lovejoy's Ice Cream, which is one of my boys' absolute favorites. But most South Meridian residents would say that once you go past Victory Road, which as you can see here, isn't too far off I-84, well, there really aren't going to be any more restaurants or many stores of any kind until you hit Kuna. Instead, it's pretty much just residential neighborhoods and farmland. That said, when Albertsons opened earlier this year, right off of Amity and Eagle Roads, well, that made a lot of South Meridian residents pretty darn happy. So if you're curious to take an on-the-ground tour through 8 top neighborhoods in South Meridian, I'll put a link above and also in the description of this video for you to check out. Okay, so now let's talk about the schools in both of these areas. If you've been researching the Boise, Idaho area for a while, then you probably know that the state of Idaho doesn't exactly have the best reputation for its education quality. That said, both the north and south ends of Meridian are in the West Ada School District. And for what it's worth, both of my boys attend public West Ada schools, and we have had nothing but wonderful experiences. That said, we do know people whose children are at different schools within the same district, and they don't always feel the same way. In general, the biggest difference we've heard about schools in the north end of Meridian compared to the south end is around high schools. In South Meridian, unfortunately, just straight out, we need another high school. Currently, as you can see in this map, the only high school in South Meridian is Mountain View High, and with all of the growth we have seen, well, Mountain View has gotten pretty darn crowded. Meanwhile, in the north end of Meridian and being so close to both Eagle and Star, parents with high school aged kiddos just straight out have more options to choose from. And that's both for schools within the West Ada School District as well as outside of it. If you are interested in diving more into schools and school ratings, I would highly recommend that you check out both greatschools.org and niche.com. Okay, so now let's talk about the neighborhoods, just straight out, and this likely won't come as too big of a surprise considering how many best places to live and raise a family lists that Meridian has landed on. On both ends of Meridian, you are going to find incredibly family-friendly and community-focused neighborhoods. Both areas have many master plan communities, so neighborhoods with pools, jogging paths, parks, really all the bells and whistles. Many also have elementary and middle schools smacked right into the neighborhood, which really helps to foster that sense of community and connectedness. So what about the landscape and vibe for each? As a whole, the city of Meridian is pretty darn flat. That said, in South Meridian, so in this area, there is a ridge that is now home to some amazing neighborhoods with awesome views. Our favorites up here, well, I guess it's south, not up, but So it's down, yeah. Anyhow, but it's up because, well, these homes are built up on a ridge and they have great views. Homes built in this South Meridian area with incredible sunrise and sunset views are really unique for the city of Meridian. Some of our favorites include Reflection Ridge and also Cabin Ridge, which is pretty much connected to Reflection Ridge. Many don't even recognize that they're two separate neighborhoods. And then there's also Sky Mesa and Lavender Heights. So if you're dreaming about a home in Meridian with a great view, then you'll definitely want to check out the South End. If, however, you would like to have closer access to the Boise River and the foothills, then being in the North End, which is much closer to the city of Eagle, which has the Boise River flowing right through it, might be a better fit. Okay, so now what's the number one biggest question you should ask yourself before deciding whether the North or South End would be best for you? Here it is. What kind of daily noise and general busyness are you open to? Is being stuck on Eagle Road trying to get to and from your house to, say, pick up your kids from school or to go to the park or to hit the gym, is living in a place that doing those things on a daily basis is going to involve more traffic and congestion? Is that going to bother you? Are you okay with being a little bit further away from I-84, which is key to getting just about anywhere in the Treasure Valley quickly and certainly to downtown Boise? If daily congestion and just the general noise that goes along with such commercial retail space isn't going to bother you, then the North End might suit you perfectly. If, on the other hand, you really don't enjoy that bumper-to-bumper vibe and certainly don't want to be experiencing it every single day on your way to drop off your kiddos at soccer practice or to get to the YMCA to swim, then I would strongly encourage you to check out the South End. While the South End has really grown, and heck, we are very close to seeing the towns of Kuna and Meridian touch, well, the busyness and noise is just completely different than what you find in the North End. So to wrap things up, living in Meridian's South End will mean you can get to just about everything the Treasure Valley offers pretty darn easily and quickly, but your day-to-day lifestyle and neighborhood will just be a little bit quieter. So while you can hop on the freeway to head downtown or onto Eagle Road to go to the Village or Jump Time or to Trader Joe's, all of that noise won't always be right in your backyard and part of your everyday commute. And then living in the North End will mean that you will be just minutes from all the modern amenities and conveniences you could really ever want. So that's handy, but your drive to the airport or commute to downtown for work will be longer and busier. Just straight out, your day-to-day life will be just a bit noisier and busier than what you would find in the South End. That said, maybe that's exactly what you want. And of course, our perspective on what's noisy and busy is completely subjective. Your take on this will depend largely on where you're coming from and therefore what you're comparing it to. If you found this video helpful and would like to see other on-the-ground tours and videos detailing what it's really like to live, work, play, raise a family in the Treasure Valley, then please take a quick sec to hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions about either of these areas or would like to learn more about the cities that make up the Treasure Valley, give us a call or shoot us a text. We are here and ready to help. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.